Hello and welcome to yoga. Today we are going to work on some core strength, so don't be surprised by that, but please stick with me. And we are going to kind of work into that stretchy hip area. So hips are always good, we carry lots of tension in that area. So we're going to get all stretchy there as well when you don't want any more core. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to start sat on a block. That's it. So sit yourself in a block. We're going to be sitting up in a really comfortable position for you to just stay in for a little while, okay? So whatever that might look like to you. So whether you want to go into butterfly with the feet together and allow the knees to rest, maybe prop up those knees with some cushions if it's comfortable, or take a more traditional cross-legged pose, but whatever one you can just sit in for a little while. And then just move the fleshy part of the bottom out of the way. Kind of wiggle it out, and then we're going to sit up nice and tall, thinking here about this kind of that seated position, taking care to kind of really root down into the foundations, thinking about lifting up through the crown of the head, finding space between the vertebrae. Imagine you're stretching up, thinking about shoulders stacked over the hips, and then from here we're just going to take the hands down towards the knees. And we're just going to take the inhale and just lift those shoulders up towards the ears. Take a moment here. Notice the difference, because as we exhale, we're going to take those hands back down the knees and find space again around the shoulders. So just hopefully they don't just stay up here. Hopefully you've got a little bit of space to move those shoulders up and then place them all the way back down with the exhale. So just finding that movement, allowing them to release. And now this time taking them up, squeeze those shoulder blades together and then roll those shoulders back down again. And then thinking about moving in a circle, rolling the shoulders back each time. Seeing if you can squeeze those shoulder blades together and then really place those shoulder blades back and down. And I think using the hands on the thighs is a really nice way of noticing whether you're actually getting much movement through the shoulders or not. So hopefully those hands will be sliding up and down the thighs, knowing that you can move. All right, we're going to change it up now. So this time, squeeze those shoulder blades together so the chest is nice and open. Roll the shoulder blades forward and down. Okay, so it feels a little bit different. For me, this feels really unnatural. This is not my preferred way of doing it, but we like to mix it up, making sure in yoga that we are targeting the kind of the ways that feel more peculiar so that we can make sure we're nice and balanced. Okay, going to take that last one and then just find that seated position. So think here about growing tall through the crown of the head, just drawing in the belly so we're nice and strong through the core so we can support our stance, support our posture. Taking those shoulders away from the ears, rolling them back and down, making sure those shoulder blades are away. And then from here, just closing off the eyes. Just sit with that feeling for a moment. See if you can feel the kind of that push through the sit bones onto the block, whatever you're sat on, feel that heaviness through the body. Meanwhile, fighting against it, thinking about growing tall through the crown of the head. So with the eyes closed, we're going to start with that even breathing, okay? So you know where we're going. So let's take a nice deep inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sitting with the breath, sitting with the heaviness through the sit bones. Growing tall through the crown of the head, noticing whether you've started to slip forwards. If you have, just re-engage that core. Think about shoulders stacked over the top of the hips. Okay, and then from here, let's just open up those eyes nice and carefully. Swap those legs out so you've got a different leading leg this time. Okay, take the arms up nice and high, reach up out of the waist and spread between the fingertips, open through the throat, bring the chin up towards the ceiling, keep control of the neck. Take that inhale, breathe and grow taller through the chin. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Okay, bringing the neck back to neutral, right hand's going to come down, just sway that left arm all the way over, and then just really moving into that side body. From here, let's draw that right elbow in towards the body so we can open up through that right shoulder. See if we can connect that left sit bone down still, and still keeping that left knee down towards the mat so that we can keep that hip opener on that left side. Okay, from here, let's come all the way back, and then left hand comes down and right arm lifts this time. Reach up and out of the waist and then come all the way down. Again, that left elbow is going to turn in towards the body so we can open up that left shoulder, and we want to feel into the side body. Okay, let's switch it out, come back to the other side. Right hand comes down, left arm lifts, and then we're going to pause here. Okay. As we pause, reach towards that side wall. Draw left elbow in, right shoulder back. Keep the shoulders stacked on top of one another. And then start to roll that left shoulder back, lifting that chest up towards the ceiling. Gaze can come up to the ceiling too if it's comfortable. Take a nice deep breath. Feel the side body stretching. Keep sitting that left sit bone down. And then that left hand is going to come down to the right side. So you're coming into this really nice stretch now. Push down with the fingertips to sit the sit bones back even further. So what usually happens is we start to move forward, which means the sit bones begin to lift. Push back with the fingertips so you're really rooted down. And then lift, find length through the chest, through the spine, so that you've got this lovely long straight back. Take a moment here. Exhale, move down deeper into that fold. And then walk the fingertips back through center. Lift through the palms. Take an inhale, lift, lengthen through that crown of the head. Imagine that you're trying to come towards that front wall. Take that inhale, exhale. We're going to lower down. Coming into that really nice release as we begin to bring the chest down, starting to feel it into the hips quite deeply now. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. And then bringing the hands over to the left-hand side, take that stretch now on this side, sit that right sit bone down, and then find that stretch down the right side body. Take an inhale, lift through the chest, find length through the spine. And then exhale, begin to move down into that space as the air disappears. Okay, from here, left hand is going to place down. We're going to just roll the shoulder back on the right side to open up through that right side now. So left hand is down, elbow in towards the body again, reaching, and we're going to pause and reach towards that side wall. Ground down through that right butt cheek. Start to turn the gaze up towards the ceiling if it's comfortable. Roll that right shoulder back and down. See if you can turn the chest slightly up towards the ceiling. Pause here. Take a breath. And then come all the way back up to seated. Nice. We're going to remove the block now. We're going to come straight into a table. With table, we go straight into a little bit of core, don't we? So get yourself set up nice and securely. We've got our wrist creases parallel to the front of the mat. We've got our shoulders over wrists, our hips over our knees. And we're just going to start to move into some cat-cow. So whatever feels good for you. So we can go to traditional cat-cow if you would like. So take that inhale, begin to dip the tummy. Lift through the gaze towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, take that movement from the pelvis. And then maybe a little bit of movement forward and backwards through the wrists and over the knees. finding kind of that fluid movement. As you push the hands down deep into the mat, think about the separation of the shoulder blades. And then maybe starting to move in a more circular motion, dropping down through the elbows and then pushing back up again, finding this really nice rotation. And then, of course, whatever we do one way, we need to do it the other because that's just how it works. Okay, and then when you're feeling good, come back to a neutral spine on your mat in your tabletop position. Okay, here we go. Let's take the right foot away from us and keep those toes down. So start here by just getting the form right. We want to make sure that both hips are level. And we want to enjoy, I say enjoy inverted commas here, we want to enjoy the stretch down the back of that right leg. So keep pushing the heel away. Engage through the core, push the hands down into the mat so we can separate through those shoulder blades. And we're going to take the gaze down between the hands so that we have a nice relaxed neck. Okay, engage the glute, begin to lift through that right leg. Start to draw circles with that big toe. So really feeling into the glutes and the core. Okay, so from here we want to just, they're tiny circles, it's a little movement, but it will start to burn through the butt, okay? Keep pushing the hands down. See if we can keep that body down the center line, which means the core is going to have to work a little bit harder. Change the direction of those circles that you're working in. If it ever gets too much, just go back to where we started. And then we're going to pause at that point. So now the leg is lifting and pushing back through the heel. Left arm alongside the ear, and then lift forward with the fingertips, push back with the heel. From here, let's taking it wide. Left arm comes wide, right leg comes wide. We're going to keep the body down the center line, draw the core under. We're going to hold it. We're going to come back to center, and the knee is going to bend in, crunch in towards the elbow. Hold it there, and then send it away. Okay, we're going to go two more. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Take it wide. Keep that body down the center line. Come back to center. Knee comes under. Let's meet the elbow. And then send it away. Slower we do it, the harder we have to work because our form is everything. Take it wide. And then back to center. Knee comes through, crunch through to elbow, and then take it away. Left hand is going to come down. From here, let's bend into that right knee. We're going to work hard into the glutes. It's going to take a little while because we're going to pause at the top. We're going to lift through the heel. Keep squeezing, keep lifting. You want to feel it in the glutes. So your heel should be going straight up towards the ceiling. And then lower, knee comes under towards the chin. Crunch it in. Come back, here we go. Lift through the heel. Keep lifting, keep squeezing. Draw that right hip down in line with the left. And then draw the knee under towards the chin. Push those hands down, find space for the knee. Okay, three more. Let's lift through the heel. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep that right hip down. Knee comes under towards the chin. Keep pushing those hands down. Find the strength through the arms, through the shoulders. Okay, two more. Let's lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come through. Knee comes through. And then last one here. Let's lift through the heel. Squeeze to lift. So keep squeezing that glute. And then knee comes under. Okay, let's come into our gate pose. Right knee comes down, take the foot out as a kickstand. Left leg comes long. Take the left arm up and then sweep it all the way over past the ear. Start to roll that left shoulder back and lifting through the chest. Take a moment here, allow the heart rate to rest. Find that really lovely length all the way from the fingertips, all the way down the side body to the pinky edge side of that left foot. You're pushing down into the mat. Option for some core work here. Take that left hand up And then start to crunch in. Draw that left knee up towards the elbow. Crunch it in. And then send it away. Options to keep the left leg lifted or lowering down, entirely up to you. Let's crunch it in. And send it away. 3 more. Crunch it in. And send it away. 2 more. Let's crunch it in. Send it away. 1 more. Crunch it in. And send it away. Left leg comes down. Find that lovely gate pose. Stretch through the fingertips. Push down with the pinky-ish side of that left foot. And then left hand is going to come down. We're going to go straight into a wide-legged child's pose. Take the knees as wide as the mat. Come and bring the bottom back to the heels. And then start to walk the fingertips forward. Begin to lower the chest down towards the mat. Forehead comes down. Maybe a little sway from side to side if you're feeling tight anywhere. And then you can spider up those fingertips, just beginning to bring the chest a little bit lower. Okay, coming straight back into our table. Hands come down, draw those knees back in towards the hip distance that we want them apart. And then this time, left leg is going to come away. We're going to push back with that left heel. Same again. Let's at this point draw that tummy in. Keep those hips nice and level. Hands push down into the mat. The neck is neutral as the gaze comes between the hands. And then we're just going to sit with this stretch for a moment or two. Keep pushing through that heel. Keep drawing that core in. We are active here. We may just be sitting around, but we are actively working. Okay, that glute's going to squeeze to lift that left leg. And now imagine that pen on the end of your big toe, starting to make little circles, just so that that glute begins to feel ever such small movements. So you're going to be feeling this in your left glute. You're going to be feeling it through your core. If you're not sure, then touch it, okay? Your glute should be solid. Your core should be really feeling it. Okay, let's reverse it. Come in a different direction, whichever one you weren't doing before. Because that's a weird way of saying it. Keep breathing, just noticing whether you're holding your breath. More of a cue for me, I think, than maybe for you. Okay, and then pausing. Maybe you're feeling the burn there. Start to push through that heel. Get your form back where it should be. Draw the core under, right arm extends, reach forward for the front wall. Push back with that heel. And now we start to take it wide. Take it wide through the right arm and left leg. Try and keep the body down the center line. Bring yourself back to center. Knee comes under, all the way towards the chin. Elbow meets it. And then send it away. We've got 4 more to go. Let's take it wide. And then back to center. Knee comes through to meet elbow. Send it away. 3 more. Take it wide. Keep moving that body to the center line. Back to the center. Knee comes under. Crunch it through. 2 more. Take it wide. This is hard work for me. You can tell my leg's getting heavy. Bring it back to center. Knee comes through. Okay, last one. Let's take it wide. Back into center. Knee comes under. And then find your final position. Super. Okay. Right hand is going to come down. Bend that left knee. Squeeze that glute like there is no tomorrow. Keep pushing the hands down into the mat. Engage that core. Let's lift through the heel. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Knee comes under. Bring it towards the chin. Crunch it in. And then send it away. Lift through the heel. Keep squeezing. knee comes under. 3 more, let's lift through the heel, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Knee comes under. 2 more. They're clocking down, look at us go. Lift through that heel and squeeze. Keep pushing the hands down. Bring the knee under. Last one, lift, lift, and lift. Knee comes back under. Nice, we survived it. From here, left knee comes down, turn the left foot out towards the kickstand. Right leg comes long, find your gate. Lifting up through that right arm. Pushing down with the pinky edge side of the right foot. Sweep that right arm all the way past the ear. And then finding length here, maybe rolling that shoulder back, lifting the chest ever so slightly. Okay, a little bit more crunch if you would like it. Right arm's going to lift. We can lift through that right leg. Elbow comes in towards that right knee. And then sends it away. Either dropping that right leg or lifting, up to you. Knee to elbow. Send it away. 3 more. Knee to elbow. Send it away. 2 more. Knee to elbow. Send it away. 1 more. Knee to elbow. And then send it away. Come back into your gate and find that stretch. Stretching with the fingertips, pushing down with the pinky side of that right foot. And lengthen. Okay, right hand is going to come down. We're going to come straight into our frog. Feet come together, sorry. Knees are going to come wide. Set yourself up because we're going to come down onto the forearms and then the feet are going to come at right angles to the knees and the hips. So we want to sit down into that kind of straddled position. So here, this is about making it comfortable for you. What we don't want to do is sink down through the belly. We want to still be kind of strong through the core to keep that support so that we don't dump into the lower back. So if you need to prop bolsters or cushions underneath your belly to find that comfortable position to stay in, then that's what you do. So we're going to pause here for a minute. The more of a right angle you find your hips and knees, the more intense it's going to feel. The further forward you start to bring your body, the less intense it's going to feel. So you find your edge and you stick with it, okay? You should never feel pain in yoga. It's going to have the absolute opposite effect of what we want. What we want to happen is our body start to relax into it. And so we start to find that movement, that flexibility, rather than shock our body into working against us. That's not what we want. And then maybe just a little bit of a rock forward and backwards, just finding into that, working between your edge and away from it. Okay, from here, just bring those feet in and tuck the toes. And then just to decompress, bring the knees together, the feet together, come into a narrow-legged child's pose. Bringing the forehead down, allow the hands to come behind you, the shoulders to melt over the knees. We're just going to sway from side to side if that feels good for you, just a gentle rock. So we work into the hips, allow the shoulders to feel heavy. Okay, and then nice and carefully bring yourself all the way out. All right, let's roll those shoulders back, find some space. We're going to come straight through downward facing dog, but we won't be there for very long. So take those hands down to the mat, tuck the toes, hover the knees, find your hovered table. Okay, from here, start to float the bottom high and then walk out those heels. Okay, so we're going to be moving between a 3-legged dog and doing a little bit more core work. So first of all, we're going to lift through the right leg, keep the hips level. Take the right knee to the right elbow, keep it nice and high, and then back into your 3-legged dog. Let's do another 2. Right knee, right elbow, and back again. Right knee, right elbow, And back again. Let's go right knee, left elbow this time. Cross it across. Send it away. 2 more. Right knee, right elbow. And away. Right knee, right elbow. And away. Right foot's going to come through the hands. Dropping the back knee and untuck the toes. From here, just start to, if you've got the hands down into the mat, just lift the back knee ever so slightly, okay? It's going to start to put more weight down through the hips. So if this is not comfortable for you, then take the back knee down, okay? You'll find that it's less pressure. If it's good for you, just hover that back knee. This is a really nice place just to move gently into that hip space, okay? But entirely up to you, depending on how you're feeling. From here, we're dropping the back knee. Left hand is going to come down. Right arm is going to lift, come into a twist. Maybe take that right hand all the way behind you to touch the top of that left thigh. To start to draw the right shoulder back and down. Maybe gazing behind you or up towards the ceiling, wherever feels good. And then coming all the way back round. Right hand is going to place down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. From here, start to move backwards and forwards over the ball of the feet. So you want to move into that hip space. Keeping the hands connected to the mat means that we're going to be really nice and secure, so we can just move within what feels good. And again, coming back into that twist, left hand comes down, keep lifting through that back knee, right arm lifts up. Push back with the back heel, keep lifting up with that back kneecap towards the ceiling. Find openness through the chest. And then right hand places back down. We're going to come straight into a plank. All right. From our plank, we're going to inhale the weight forward, elbows in close to the body, lower down. From here, take those hands underneath the shoulders. Take an inhale, squeeze through the glutes, draw the core down so we can move the crown of the head forward. Start to lift through the chest. As we exhale, lower down. Always thinking about lengthening through the crown of the head. Take the inhale, push the pubic bone down into the mat, take the shoulders back. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. This time we're going to bring the feet in as well. Start to lift through those feet. Exhale, lower. 2 more here. Inhale to lift through the chest. If you like lifting the feet, then continue doing so. Keep drawing those elbows back so we can start to squeeze through those shoulder blades. Exhale, lower. Last one here, take the inhale to lift. As we keep lifting here, bring the hands behind you. Reach back towards the toes with the fingertips. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep pushing the pubic bone down and keep squeezing through the glutes. Hands come back and then we lower down. Make a pillow with the hands and then just windscreen wiper those feet from side to side. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. Okay. From here, take the feet back down. Hands are coming underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, elbows to the back of the room. Engage that core and the glutes. Let's come up through plank in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, find your plank. It's not an interim position. We want to make sure that we are strong. Push back with the heels, lift up with the kneecaps. Core is in, glutes are strong. Hands push down, separate the shoulder blades and keep the neck relaxed. Take a moment here. Okay, and then send chest to thighs. Find your down dog, walk the heels out. Again, we're not going to be here long. Left leg lifts, keep the left hip drawing down. In line with that right. And then left knee, left elbow. Come back to your 3-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. 3-legged dog. left knee, left elbow, three-legged dog. Okay, we're off on the right side now. Left knee, right elbow. How high can you go? Back to three-legged dog. Two more. Here we go. Left knee, right elbow. Back to three-legged dog. Last one. Left knee, right elbow. Three-legged dog. Take a breath. Left foot's going to come through the hands. Drop the back knee and untuck the toes. And then this is your opportunity here. If you would like to push down with the sole, with the shoelace side of the foot to lift through that back knee. So just hovering here. And then this is your place, as your hands down, you can just really securely move around in this hip space. If it feels good for you, then great. If it doesn't, don't do it. Okay. And then when you're ready, right knee can come down, just relax through that back leg. And then that right hand is placed down, left arm begins to lift, come into a twist, lift up through the left fingertips. Sinking those hips forward and down. Maybe that left arm wraps all the way behind to touch the top of the right thigh, rolling that left shoulder back, maybe taking a gaze up or behind you, whatever feels good. Keep that left knee tracking that left ankle. She says as she adjusts because she knows she's falling out. Okay, coming all the way back round. Left hand is down. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knees. Knee. And then that right hand places down again. We're going to lift through that left arm. Lift, lift, lift. See if you can bring the ribs round, the chest round. And then here, notice what's happening with that back leg. Is it all saggy and baggy? Can we start to push back with the back heel, lift up with the kneecap? Really find strength in that back leg. Okay. And then from here, left hand comes back down. We're going to take the left foot back to join the right and find your plank. Okay, nice and strong through here. Let's take the right foot through the hands and then take the feet to the long edge of the mat. So we've got our edges of our feet parallel to the short edges of the mat. And we're going to take the hands down and find length through the spine. So from here, thinking about pushing the sit bones back, thinking about pushing through the outer edges of the feet, and thinking about reaching forward with the crown of the head. Take that breath, lengthen through the head, through the crown of the head. Sounds much better. And then exhale, begin to swan dive the chest down. You want to imagine that your crown of your head is going to touch down between the center points between the arches of your feet. So really think about drawing the head down, thinking about the sit bones starting to tilt up towards the ceiling, and thinking about the length through the spine. Maybe if you've got space for it, you can take the hands to the edges of the feet and then begin to draw the elbows in to start to give you that leverage to draw the chest under and through the legs. Coming back out, hands are going to come down to the mat. We're going to heel toe the feet in just once or twice as we come up into a goddess. So what we want to do here is tuck under the tailbone so we can open through the hips. We've got our knees stacked over the top of the ankles. We're going to grow tall through the crown of the head. We really want to think here about those glutes squeezing. There's a big difference between duck bum and then rolling it under, okay? We're going to roll that pelvis under. Take those arms out like cactus arms. Do love a cactus arm. Okay. And then from here, take that inhale, squeeze to lift. And then as we exhale, sink down. How low can you go? And then start to move into your goddess. Really feel it through the hips. Keeping those shoulders squeezing together, elbows are coming back. Feeling the burn. and then pausing, squeezing to lift, and then exhale, coming back down. Again, moving into that hip space, finding whatever feels good for you. Doesn't matter what you look like. It's only me being recorded. It's only me that's going to regret this. And then from here, squeeze to lift, 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 and lift, and then exhale, lowering back down. We're going to take the hands down, heel toe those feet in again, come down into your squat. Again, you can go straight into a static squat, or you can just move through that hip space. Think of it being a really fluid movement. This is a great place for props. So if you find that your heels are lifting, prop a block underneath the heels. If your bottom is floating, again, sit on a block. What we want to do here is create a nice long spine. So whatever gets you there is what we want. Okay, just take a moment. Sinking the bottom down towards the mat, lengthen through the spine with those inhales, using those hands to push against those knees to open into the hips. Take a moment to breathe, appreciating all the good work you've done, and knowing there's just not much more to do. Ooh, what a treat. Okay. When you're ready, release those hands off. Nice and safely find the bottom touching down onto the mat. And then it wouldn't be a core workout if we didn't come down by a boat, would it? So we're going to sit up nice and tall and then begin to lift through the feet. From here, we can take the hands alongside the knees. And then we're going to start to just extend. Draw that core in. And then come back. Okay, take it away. Keep the chest lifted. Back in. Let's take it away. We've got 3 more to go. Back in. Keep those feet lifting. 2 more. Here we go. Back in. 1 more. Here we go. And then back in. And then from here, nice and carefully, roll yourself back. Draw those knees in towards the chest. And then make those lovely circles on the lower back. Take your time here, just starting to wind down into your final Savasana. What you want to do is be able to know that you have made all of those little kind of nagging feelings can disappear. So if you've got a little bit of something that needs adjusting or some attention given to it, then take the time now to do it, okay? This is a very personal moment when you have to listen to your body and see what your body needs from you. Noticing the heart rate lowering, the breath calming, the feeling of heaviness. And then when you're ready, you can extend yourself on your mat. Find your place for your final Savasana. I'd really encourage you at this point just to start to really think about the body's position. So noticing that contact between you and the mat. Noticing where the shoulders are in relation to your ears, maybe making an adjustment there. And then finding wherever you're happy to be for the next few minutes. And we're going to finish class today with a bit of a body scan. I think we've worked really, really hard, and it's a really nice way to just check in with the body and see how it is feeling after all of that good, hard work. So we're going to start at our foundations as we always do. So we're starting at the feet. I'm just going to ask you just to wiggle those feet from side to side, moving into the ankles, maybe a wiggle of the toes. And then just allow them to rest. So maybe at this point, you can encourage the toes down towards opposite corners of the mat as the feet fan out. The heels get heavy. Then we're going to take a journey up the back of the legs now as we travel up the calf muscles, hamstrings. And then, of course, we've got the shins, the knees, the quads. Just feeling into any sensations that you might be feeling in that area. Maybe you're gripping through the kneecaps. Maybe send a breath to them. Allow them to release off. Next stop is the hips. Maybe just a little bit of a squeeze of the glutes, one by one, just a little wiggle from side to side, and then a release so you can find absolute stillness. As we take a nice deep inhale, breathe through the chest, through the belly, and on the exhale, breathe through the mouth and sigh it all away. Take that lovely releasing breath. We're going to make the movement now up the spine, all the way up towards the shoulders. And then from the shoulders, we're going to take the journey down the arms. As we do, we think about the biceps and triceps, the elbows and their contact points to the mat, finding that cool fabric against the skin. And the forearms and the fingertips now. And then just wiggle through those fingertips. Remember that movement. And then release. Allowing those fingers to curl in ever so slightly. Resting here. We're going to move back up the arms this time. And as we do, we get to the shoulders. Check in with them, make sure they're not up by your ears. And then we come up to the neck. And then all the way up to the crown of the head. This time take an inhale, see if you can find length through the neck, lifting through the crown of the head to find that space. And as you exhale, take the journey over the top of the head, between the eyebrows. Noticing whether they are furrowed together or whether you can just encourage them to part back where they should be. And then we go over the nose to the lips. And then we stop here. Noticing what's happening with the teeth. Maybe the teeth are slightly parted, the tongue's rolled back, the jaw is unclenched. You relaxed, surrender. Your body is just enjoying all that hard work as you lay here heavy. And then maybe you allow yourself a little smile, knowing that there's nothing left to do. Just breathe in and breathe out. And then sit with this for a moment. The simple act of breathing in and breathing out. Remembering this feeling, knowing that you can come back here at any time, close off the eyes, check in with the breath, find that comfort in just a moment's meditation. But for now, knowing that all of that work is done, it leads us to start to return back to the present moment. Starting to wiggle life into the toes and the fingertips. Starting to move through the body, maybe with a shake through the legs ever so gently. And then beginning to bring the arms above the head as you take that inhale. And then as you exhale, sigh it all away. Beginning to bring the knees up towards the chest, taking those nice final movements onto the lower back. And then carefully rolling onto one side. And then bringing yourself ever so slowly back up to a seated position when you are ready, and I'll be there. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you soon.